fractions of amounts. Now, the two steps required for finding fractions of amounts are here. Step 1, divide by the denominator. The denominator is the number in the bottom. Step 2, multiply by the numerator. That's the number in the top of the fraction. So if I look at this first example, 1/3 of 63. So we take our 63 and step 1 is to divide by the denominator. So we need to divide by this denominator here. And the denominator is 3. So we divide by 3. And 63 divided by 3 is 21. So, nice and straightforward. Now, you should be able to see that step 2 says multiply by the numerator. So we need to take our 21 and then we need to multiply it by the numerator. You should all know that multiplying by 1 gets you back to your original answer, so it's not really required to multiply the 21 by 1, but if we do that, you get back to your 21. So 1/3 of 63 is 21. Now, the next example, 2/3 of 63. So again, we need to do step 1. Step 1 is to divide by the denominator, which we did in the first part. So we need to divide by this number 3. 63 divided by 3, just like we found out in the first example, gives us 21. Now, unlike the first example, we are wanting to find 2/3. So we've split this 63 up into 3 equal groups of 3. So we've got 21, 21, 21, which will add to the 63. We now want 2 of those groups. So what we need to do is we need to multiply by the 2. So you need to take your 21 and then we do 21 times by 2. And 21 times by 2 is 42. So that means that 2/3 of 63 is 42. Now, the third example that we're going to look at is a little bit more tricky because of the number involved. We want to find 3/4 of 352. So step 1 is to divide by the denominator. So we want to divide by this 4. So divide by 4. Now, 352 divided by 4. What I would do is I would use short division. So I'm just going to draw a little bus stop over here. We want to do 352 divided by the number 4. So 4 goes into 3 0 times with a remainder of 3. 4 goes into 35 8 times, because 4 times 8 is 32. So to get from 32 to 35, you have another remainder of 3. 4 goes into 32 8 times. So that means 352 divided by 4 is 88. So we've now done step 1. Step 2 was to multiply by the numerator. So I need to do 88, and now we need to times that by the numerator, which in this instance is 3. So we times by 3. So again, what I would do at this instance is I would use a multiplication grid. So we can split our 88 up into an 80 and an 8, and we need to multiply that 88 by 3. So we have 88 there, my 3 there, and I need to multiply it all together. So 3 times 80 is 240. and 40, and 3 times 8 is 24. So adding these two numbers together gives me 264. So that means that 3 times 88 is 264. So the answer to 3/4 of 352 is 264. Now for the calculator, we do exactly the same thing, except we just do it on our calculator. So what I would type into my calculator here is I would type in 32 divided by 7 times by 2. And if you do that on your calculator, you're going to end up getting £9.14, because we're working with money.